Good evening and thanks so much for watching. I'm Whitney Miller. Tonight, 2 more alleged accomplices are facing charges, and that brings the total number to at least 9, and we're learning more about their cases. Our Rachel Hanley starts tonight's coverage.
Yeah, 9 days out, the number of escaped inmates arrested is standing still, but the number of people arrested because they're suspected of helping them keeps going up. Saturday, we found out 2 more people had been arrested on accomplice charges. Lenton Van Buren Sr. was arrested Friday. His relationship to Lenton Van Buren Jr., one of the escapees, is still unconfirmed. Angel McKee was also arrested Friday. She and Van Buren Sr. are charged with being accessories after the fact. At a hearing today, their bonds were set at around $1 million each. 2 other people were at that hearing too. One was Emmett Weber. The NOPD shared these pictures of officers entering a home in New Orleans East Friday. 4 people in the home were suspected of helping the inmates, but Weber was the only one they ended up arresting. His bond is $1 million too. The other—
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. 1751. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. For those of you who subscribe to this channel, I'd like to take my hat off to you. I'd like to thank you for your unwavering support. It's gladly appreciated, man. For those of you who have not yet subscribed, take a moment, man, smash that subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell notification while you're at it, man, so that any new uploads, you would get it directly, immediately. Anyway, man, getting into it. This is going to be a continuous, man, of a series of videos that I've been doing for about the last week or so, about a jail escape, in the state of Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana. As many of you may already know, there were 10 guys, 10 inmates, 10 dangerous, devious, shall I say, looking at the charges that these guys were charged with and some were convicted of. These guys were some dangerous individuals. In some way, somehow, they were able to manipulate the staff within the facility where they were housed, right? And somehow they were able to get the maintenance man, not only the maintenance man, because I'm going to get into that as well. The maintenance man was the first. I don't know whether he's the fall guy or whether the allegations that he's faced with, whether they're 100% true or just a little bit of truth to it or whatever. But starting from last week, when this maintenance man was arrested, he was arrested for actually turning the water off in a handicapped cell where he was supposed to have been doing some sort of maintenance. Then as time went on, that story turned into after he was arrested for this event unfolding. When he was arrested, his legal team, his attorney, stated that his client, stated that the only reason he turned the water off in that cell, causing these guys to be able to pull off this elaborate escape, was because one of the inmates, approached him, during the day, and threatened to stab him or, bring some harm to him if he didn't comply, and have that water shut off so that they can be successful at this escape, right? Now, as many of you know, if you've been keeping up with the story, for about the last week straight, man, every day, man, there is another jailhouse staff being arrested, for aiding these guys, along the way in some way, shape, or form. Now, as of yesterday, there are nine in total arrested for aiding and abetting, these escapees.
Officials say the escapees may be reaching out to family and friends for help as the net of alleged accomplices expands. According to court records and local reports, now up to 9 people arrested and charged with either assisting in the initial escape or helping the inmates once out.
And what's so interesting about all of this, man, is that you have people who I'm quite sure had a clean background, no criminal history, nothing bad enough to stop them from being successful in the work field. Because in order to get these type of jobs, man, in order to land these type of jobs, you have to have a clean background, a clean criminal history. So that says a lot about these individuals, man. Now, how they ended up in the situation where they're being alleged to have worked as a chain, together to aid, these guys and being successful in this elaborate escape, man, it's just beyond me. And what seems to be happening to me personally is that there's a lot of embarrassment. The city, the state of Ohio, of Louisiana, the state of Louisiana, the district attorney, just the officials, man, they're all embarrassed. This look bad, man. This look very bad, man. On their behalf. And they have to find some way. Man, to kind of shift the view off of them. And they understand that somebody has to take the blame for all of this unfolding the way that it did, man. And as you can see from all the press conferences that the district attorney and just the city officials, man, they've been given for the past week or so, no one's taking any type of accountability, man. They asked one of the ladies, man, during a press conference, do she wish to give the families some type of assurance that they will catch these guys, and would she like to take a moment to reach out, to the public, man, to the community, to the families of the victims. Would she like to, issue some sort of an apology to society, to the community?
People, I think everybody's live in here. Do you want to say you're sorry to the people of New Orleans for having this happen? I mean, we've heard from you several times today, but do you want to offer any kind of contrition or apology to people for something like this happening?
Well, first we have to find out exactly what happened and how they got out. We think,
although she, didn't have like a literal hand in the situation and helping these guys. She's part of a organization, that moves, that's supposed to move together, as a chain, to keeping these guys behind bars and keeping the community safe. Now, when you have officials like this, man, who have an attitude, such as this lady here, man, you have people who just think like this, man. They don't deserve to be in these positions. As easy as it is, man, to just issue an apology to the community for all of this unfolding and just saying that, we're so sorry that this event, had to occur. We will get down to the bottom of it we will work tirelessly to bring these inmates, these escapees, back into custody. Just as simple as it is to say, to just give some type of assurance to the community, man. This lady couldn't bring herself to, to do it, to just, she couldn't bring herself to make that, that type of, give that type of assurance, man, to the people, man, because she felt like, by her saying something of that nature will somehow insinuate that she's guilty of something. And that's not what that means, man, But anyway, as you can see, man, all this unfolding the way it is, man. As of yesterday, there are now nine individuals.
Records and local reports, now up to 9 people arrested and charged with either assisting in the initial escape or helping the inmates once out.
Facility staff who are working in that jailhouse at the time of the escape, who are alleged to have assist these guys, man. Now, at this point, there are all allegations. Like I said, the city, the district attorney, everybody's embarrassed, man. So this could very much be, a shifting, of blame, by just arresting the whole staff to try to satisfy the people and give the people some type of answer as to why this all unfolded. But that doesn't mean that these staff members are guilty. Although we know about the girl, the few women who were actually interacting with these inmates before the escape and also after the escape, helping them do things such as ride around and get new clothing and hide them in secret locations and keep them updated on the current search and just all those type of things, man. Although we know all these things about these women, this is still allegations. There's still allegations because the public has yet to see the proof, the evidence, brought forth on all of these 9 individuals in total. Right, so there are allegations at this point. Going into the future, I'm quite sure that whatever the district attorney's office have, they will present it, for the public. It's just funny, man, because it seems like, they now have a facility staff member being arrested for every inmate that has escaped. There were 10 inmates that escaped in total. You now have 9 arrested. So they are, it's like a replacement, man. All of these people who had clean records, man, they now are faced with aiding and abetting in some way, shape, or form, man. And they're all being hit with $1 million bills. $1 million bills. You don't get $1 million bill for a petty case, man. So they're obviously serious charges, man. And one thing I can say, man, is that there is a lot of corruption that goes on in these counties, man. Because like I said in one of my recent videos on the subject, there were times, man, when I've served time on State Road here in Philadelphia, in a facility by the name of the Koran From Hood Correctional Facility, also known as CFCF. Now I can attest to corruption, all types of corruption, man. Throughout that facility, man. Just from my time serving there. A few terms that I've served there on State Road, in different facilities, of course. But in CFCF alone, man, there were times, man, where they had, where they had head count, man, and I would notice, man, when I was perfectly new, to the facility, and a lot of these guys were, they were already there for about a year or a little over a year, or however long they were there before me. But I started to pick up on things like, in head count, during head count, where the corrections officers are supposed to go around each block and count heads to make sure that all the inmates are accounted for in the right place, in their cell where they're supposed to be, before they can let everybody out and continue with operations the way they normally run, right? But I noticed things like during head count, there were always certain guys that would be in other guys' cells. Now these are two head cells, man. It's a bunk bed, a table a table to share, and a toilet. A toilet such as you see in the cell where these guys escaped. There's a toilet and a sort of a water fountain on top of the toilet. Now I noticed that there were a lot of guys, man, who wasn't in their cells where they were supposed to be during head count when the jail was locked down. And that was just fishy. That let me know how easy it was for somebody to actually get hurt in that facility, man. A lot of guys had the guards on lock. Just had the guards manipulated, man. Just vulnerable, not understanding, that these guys were manipulating them and laughing at them amongst each other. It's just, it's a lot of corruption that goes on in these facilities. So when things like this happen, man, it never surprises me, man. Being a person who's been in these facilities quite a few times throughout my years, man. I know the corruption that goes on behind those walls, man. It is not what it seemed to be. It is not. It is not as stable as one might think. Who never been behind those walls. These inmates have all kinds of ways, man, to get around the jail, man. To get on different blocks. There's just all different types of ways to get what you want, man. And manipulation, man, is your biggest asset when you behind those walls, man. Being able, just being persuasive and just being able to manipulate some of these vulnerable guards, man. And sometimes, man, you can see you can just almost see that these guards, they are not equipped mentally, to be handling these inmates. These individuals are obviously behind those bars for a reason. And I just think that these jails, man, they need to start doing better evaluations on the people that they hire to work these facilities, man, because I believe that they're just hiring people, man. They probably just have to have a few qualifications, and boom, they got the job, and they learn as they go, and that's not always the best way to go about it, man, because these people get in these places and they become weapons against the jail, and not sometimes not even purposely, man. Sometimes they're just manipulated. It's just that, they're soft people, man. And just a minor mishap, in judgment when hire these people can cost the whole jail system. It can cost society as a whole, man. Because as you can see, a lot of times these situations don't turn out for the better, man. You have these situations where these guys manipulate a lot of these people, and they as you can see, are successful on pulling off these elaborate escapes, man. You know, and it's always an embarrassment when these things happen, because the city officials and the DA and just everybody as a whole, man, is supposed to make sure that the community is safe from individuals like these guys. A lot of times, man, these people, they don't want to take accountability for dropping the ball. You know, as you can see, happen here, man. Now, as you can see, man, the woman who, the young woman who was getting nailed by the oldest guy of the 10. You know, she was preferably a nice looking young lady, you know, and I can see the inmates being all over her, man. You know, and a lot of times these young women, they don't know how to turn it off. They don't know how to combat that. You know, some of these people, they have self-esteem issues on the outside world. You know, when it comes to men, you know, not being wanted by certain men, and that you know, as we all know with women, they need attention. Many of them, anyway. They need attention, and when they get that type of attention on the inside, they're getting attention that can be overwhelming, man, because they're the only woman in that section. You know, and she actually looks like something. You know, but this should be an example for those those prison, I mean those jailhouse staff and those jailhouse COs who are young, pretty, you know, and they land these type of jobs. This should be an example, man, of the type of situation they could find themselves in if they allow themselves to fall prey, you know, to one of these type of individuals. You know, but man, she looked like she probably had a little body on her too, man. But sadly it won't be no no booty shaking this summer, man. You know, ain't gonna be no Daisy Dukes, you know, no hoochie mama shorts, you know, no swinging that booty in the neighborhood this summer, man. And it's just crazy, man, because this happened right before summertime, man. Right before summertime. You know, these guys escape. They get to enjoy some of the nice weather, although, you know, they're not going to be out like me or you, you know, of course. But they're outside of that wall, man. And these people, they're sadly going to be on the other side, man, pending the outcome, you know, their trial and you know, man. Anyway, man, it was nice. It was nice hanging with y'all today, man. Tapping in, man, to kind of give y'all some of the updates. Oh yeah, before I get out of here, man, I want to throw this in, man, because you know, I forgot to throw this one. It was discovered that these inmates use a pair of hair clippers with different, you know, blade settings to cut their way behind that toilet. You know, before they approach that maintenance man to turn the water off. Now, hair clippers. It doesn't sound. It don't sound believable to me. But there are many ways, man, that you know, inmates. There are many ways that they learn to survive and to do things that you may see as impossible. They somehow turn these things into the possible. You know, I can recall, man, you know, razors come around once a week when I was, you know, serving time on State Road. Razors come around once a week, and we would take the razors out and replace them with the end of the soup pack. You know, the soup packs come in oodles and noodles, the little, you know, they would rip the end of those off, and they would replace the razor inside of the razor blade with the end of the soup pack, and then throw them back in a bucket when the correction officer come around to collect the razors. And most of the time, the corrections officers, they were so naive that they didn't even check, you know, and that allowed a lot of criminal activity to go on within the facility as well, man. You know, guys making all sorts of knives and weapons. You know, there's many ways, man. You know, people taking, you know, bending pieces off the fan, the cage that goes around the fan, bending those back and forth until they break, and then wrapping sheets and toilet paper and all type of, you know, shit that you can get from inside the facility and making knives that way. I mean, there were many ways, man. But I will be updating on the story about these hair clippers, you know, as I get it, man, how these guys were able to use a pair of hair clippers. You know, the ones that you know, shave your neck and, you know, trim your mustache and, you know, shape yourself. Yeah, those things, man. Now, I'm not sure if they were selling those clippers on commissary or whether the barber, you know, the barber within the facility, which is usually an inmate, you know, who has access to clippers and, you know, just all the things that he need to run a barbershop, you know, to make sure these guys stay groomed and ready for court and things of that nature. But this is interesting, man. It's getting more interesting by the day, man. You know, but as it come across my desk, man, like always, I would make it my business to keep y'all updated, man. And I'd like to thank you all for tuning in, man, to yet another 1751 review. You know, y'all support, man, is gladly appreciated, man. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, man. Like I always say, man, I really mean that. It means a lot to me, man. You know, anyway, until next time, it's your boy, Mr. 1751. Bring you another 1751 review. And until next video, y'all stay up.
What factor do you think the family, the friends, the people in the neighborhood will be in this?
It's huge. It may not be a friend, but then a friend of a friend, they saw him, or that this person was doing stuff, getting food that didn't make sense. Police are going through all of that.